that was made locally on RTX 3060 with only 12 gigabytes of VRAM. And in this video, we're going to talk about what LTX-V 2.3 actually is, how to get it up and running in ComfyUI on even consumer hardware, and we're going to talk about the different modes. There's T2V, I2V, and reference audio in this workflow. And finally, I'm going to show you some of the generations I've already made. I'm going to talk a little bit about the future of LTX-V and where I see it going. Before we get into the video, I would really like to ask you to subscribe or like the video if you like this information and you think it's helpful. It really helps out the channel, and I see like 90% of you aren't subscribed. It would mean a lot to me. Alright, so this is an updated video. I've already made 2 previous videos on it, but there has been a lot of development recently in how you run it and different kind of models and add-ons, so I wanted to make this to update it. What is LTX-V 2.3? It is an open source audio model made by Lightrix with native audio support. So they have an audio model already built into LTX-V 2.3, which is what's quite different from VAN 2.2, where you have to kind of work on the audio yourself. Now, it has different modes now, I2V, T2V, it does a lot of things. I think it also does first frame, last frame, so pretty much any of the things VAN 2.2 could do, it does now too. It does run on 12 gigabytes of VRAM via GGUF quantization. It could even run on 4 gigabytes of VRAM, but that is going to be very, very limited, and the quant is going to be so high that the quality is going to be nearly unusable. So it suggests you have at least 12 gigabytes of VRAM or maybe 8, and then you should be fine. So let's take a look on our computer and see how we can run this. First thing we'll need to do is take a look at Civet AI and the download page. Now, I already have it downloaded, but here you just click this and you'll get the workflow. Now, more importantly, you have the download section right here. So let's take a look. There's going to be a few repos we have to take a look at first. Gemma, upscaler. Okay, so let's start here with KeyJ's repository. So the diffusion models we don't care about because those are scaled, those are not GGF conversions, and we don't want them. The lowers are going to be very important. You can choose one of these to use. I would go with the slightly bigger one. It has a little bit of more information to make it look better, but it's up to you and up to your computer. Now, text encoders, we want the text projection file, but this is not everything. We also need to get Gemma 3. Now, the VAE we can also get from here. So you see right here, 2 VAEs, one for video, one for audio. Both are important. You need both. This is for KeyJ's. Now we go to the GGF conversions. The distilled ones you can try. You can set the steps lower in this workflow if you want, but I wouldn't recommend. I would stick with the dev version. Now, I've been getting pretty good results with Q5KM, Q8 I use a lot just because it's the best quality. I have tried even Q2K. It's not good. This one does not work. Like it's quantized too high. I would recommend you not using it. It's at that point better to offload and just let generations run a little longer. Okay, now at the ComfyUI LTX-2, so the old repo, we have in the split files, text encoders, the Gemma 3 text encoders. Now, the biggest one, unquantized, will give you the best results. So it will kind of give you the best prompt, if that makes sense. Like, you will understand the prompt the best, but it's totally fine to use scaled and mixed versions. Especially for consumer hardware, I would really go with the smallest one. The effect is going to be minimal, way less than choosing a lower quantized GGUF model from right here. Now, that's not everything because we're only missing the latent upscaler you're gonna need, but not this one. Right here. We are looking at LTX-2 spatial upscaler. Let me just check real quick here. Latent upscaler, LTX spatial upscaler, temporal upscaler, right. I'm pretty sure the workflow uses the spatial one, but I might have that updated later. Now let me just see real quick, because we are still kind of missing the distilled LoRa, and that's in KeyJ's repo. LoRa's, no, we did talk about that. Fine, my mistake. Okay, so once you've looked through the repos and you've gotten the right files, you should have something like this. Models here. So here we have kind of all the models around it, and we have these. The LoRa's I haven't included. I think I missed them. But anyway, now the next thing would be to start ComfyUI. Okay, so we're back. Now, as you can see here, I've actually taken the nodes out of my ComfyUI installation folder already, because I want to see how it is for somebody just opening it. So we are missing node packages. Yes, those are the ones we have. Oh, a few ones. Skip for now. I want to see errors. Here we go. So node pack, install node pack, install node pack, install node pack. Unknown node packs 2. It has a video KeyJ. That's KeyJ's though. LTX-2.3. That should also be KeyJ's. Here. And we are missing the models as well. So I'm just gonna wait for that to download. Okay, that also took a little bit. But you can see there were 2 nodes that didn't exist, that errored out, but they were actually part of the notepad. So we are fine. Now we're only missing models. We go to error, yeah, we're missing all of these models. As you can see, the distilled LoRa we already have. But we also want the ID LoRa talk for 3K. You can download this straight from ComfyUI because it knows where this is. But I'll also have that linked up separately in the CivitAI description, so you can find it easily. Now, we are gonna have to add all these models back to ComfyUI. So for me, we can use the desktop ComfyUI installation folder. I use the desktop version, which means there's 2 folders that have kind of the same structure. We want to go to models. We want to go first to text encoders. Now we go both gemmas. Boom, in there. Ooh, nearly forgot. Text projection also goes in there. No, don't open a saved file. That's not how that works. Okay, now both audio and video VE on the VE folder. Now this LTX 2.3 folder, I like to put a folder in these folders because that way you can keep it separate. If you have a lot of models, a lot of LoRa's, etc., you can like group them, pre-group them, like here. So diffusion models, boom, now we got the GGF models in there too. Now let me just go real quick to LoRa's again. It's not in this folder, but I know it's going to be in this folder. ComfyUI, models, LoRa's. So here, this one is very important that you do have the LoRa talk vid, and here the distilled LoRa is also important. Okay, but once you have all the models in there, we pretty much have to quit ComfyUI and start again. Okay, we are still missing one model. No, this is actually a workflow that just opened up. That happens, that doesn't really matter. Because I do want to show you one more thing. Anyway, when you've downloaded it from CivitAI, the model, it will be something like this JSON file. Now all you have to do is boop, there we go. So now it still says there's 2 missing models, yeah, but that is not the ones we wanted anyway. Video V, audio V. Now I've made this model loader. It's a subgraph. You can enter it here. But this one doesn't really matter right now. See? So I thought it would be nice and easy. All you have to do is select the models you want right here, from the quants you have and the stuff you downloaded. And then here is just settings. So width, height, length. This length is as many frames as you make. Width, height is the pixels, should be quite easy. Noise seed is right here. You can make it random, fixed if you want to like do steps or whatever. And yeah, and this saves the video. Now if I go to the subgraph, everything, it's a lot. It's I took a lot of inspiration obviously from other workflows and improvements and the normal workflow, just a safe tensor file I used to kind of build on this, and it's a lot. It's probably the biggest workflow I have ever made, but I think when it's all like compacted like this, it's quite good. Now these 2 settings are also quite important. So text to video is basically, if it's on, it's gonna do text to video. If it's off, it's gonna do image to video. And the image is right here, you can put it. Now reference audio is basically, should it use the reference audio to drive the animation. So I have this kind of like gospel one. Now the audio does change a little bit when it gets sampled, but mostly to fit the video. It really tries a lot to fit the video and the audio together, and it usually looks quite nice. That's why, for example, it's more of a woman's choir that is singing this audio, but because I have male priests singing it, it actually deepens it a little bit to make it sound more accurate to a male's voice, which I think is pretty cool. So it definitely does a lot for you. And of course, if you don't reference audio, turn it off. This means it will make its own audio. Now in the future, I'm still looking to add stuff like first frame, last frame. There's some like ad guides that you can build, and I have to do it with conditioning, but I haven't gotten around that yet. I might do an update here and there, and then you guys will see. Also, I have the download section here again. So if anyone hasn't downloaded everything yet, you can just take a look at it here. And of course here I have basic usage, basically what we just went through, but written down again for anyone that just downloaded it. Okay, so that's the workflow. That's how you run it, that's how you set it up. I think next I'm going to show you some generations I did. Alright, so let me showcase a few generations here real quick. Some of these will be T2V, some of these will be I2V, some with reference audio, some without reference audio. These, and these? Well, today I want to show you how. So where's this all going? I can see this becoming the new standard. Now I think as of right now, it's not as powerful as Van 2.2, but Lightrix has said that they will keep this development going. So it is in active development, and they will keep it open source, which is a big thing because that means the model will hopefully get better and be easier to use in the future. And we can always add on more quality with different LoRa's, different tricks where people distill models onto another model. So I have a lot of hope that this will become the new standard for open source video production. And yeah, it's looking very nice. Alright, so the workflow is down in the links. If you want to see what Van 2.2 I2V looks like, I made a dedicated video on that right here. Thank you.